Hey guys, Dean. I'm back. Anyways, I just want to start off saying that this is not my truck, and I didn't steal this truck. Who in their right mind would steal a Volvo? Anyways, no, ET has lent the truck for the day just to give you a little inside the truck view. Anyways, what we want to talk about today is truck driving schools, what they don't teach you in truck driving schools. That being said, you guys have left a lot of comments and stuff asking around for truck driving schools and where's the best place to go. We're going to do another video on the truck driving schools themselves, but if you guys could leave a comment down below on maybe some of the truck driving schools you guys have been to, what you learned there, what you didn't learn there, if you figured it was good, it was bad, that'll give us a little bit of insight that we can comprise something together and hopefully throw a real good video together for you guys at a later time. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what they do not teach you. You get into that truck driving school and within 3 to 4 weeks, you have a commercial driver's license and you're ready to go. Most of them want you to get that license so you can get out on the road and go looking for a job. They'll teach you the basics, how to start a truck, how to drive it around town a little bit, how to back it in one spot. 90% of the places that are teaching you are not teaching you how to shift. There's a lot of automatics nowadays in the truck driving industry, especially in the schools. I myself have taken, I don't even know how many people out on road tests in the past. People who got 15 years driving experience and you put them into an 18 speed or a 13 speed truck and they look at you like you're crazy. When you get into truck driving, there's a lot of different things that are thrown at you on a daily basis. How do you strap that load down? Is that load secure before you leave the yard? Flatbeds especially, but not limited to. There's also dry vans and, how do we secure the stuff in a dry van? Do we use load securement bars, any straps? Are we looking at that load and making sure it's good and secure before we close those back doors and we pull that truck out of the dock? Or, do we lose that first skid just pulling out of the dock? By the time we get to our destination, the skids are all over the place and the boss is going crazy on you. Obviously, the customer's mad, but you were never taught any of that stuff. You got your license and away you go. Flatbeds too, flatbeds is how many people don't know how to throw a strap. You could sit and watch people trying to strap a load for for a long time, trying to get those straps over the top and they hit the side. And it's just that they were never taught. This can make the job really dangerous. You throw that strap up, you're not watching, the strap comes back down and the chain on the end of it hits you on the top of the head, or you don't think to yell that you're going to throw the strap over. There's somebody standing over on the other side of the load and you toss that strap over and you smack them in the head with the chain. Chains, binders, the old style bear traps. Obviously, you're not going to learn about this stuff in a truck driving school. Like I said before, if you have learned this in some of the truck driving schools that you've been to, then definitely shoot that down below, because that's a plus right away for somebody if they're going to learn some of this stuff. I would say dock security is huge. Making sure that you got your wheel chocks on and that you've secured yourself into the dock, you got your brakes set. A lot of places will actually take your airline off to make sure that you can't pull forward without securing it again. Getting out of your truck before you pull out of that dock and making sure that the dock leveler is back up and out of place, that there's not still a forklift in the back of the truck. Seen it 1,000 times. A truck driver pull out of the door and the poor shipper in the back of the truck shitting his pants. He doesn't notice till he gets out and around the corner to close those barn doors on the back, and there's a shipper in there, and not a good thing. Guys setting trailer brakes, setting the spike instead of setting the trailer brakes. I just have to get out of the truck for a minute to close the door. I know that spike's going to hold the truck in place. The guy gets out of the truck, runs around back to close the barn door, and the truck rolls back and squishes him between the trailer and the dock door. It's an accident that happens a lot more than you would ever think of. And they don't teach you that in a truck driving school, that, all these steps are in place for a reason. You want to be safe, and at the end of the day, everybody wants to go home to their loved ones at the end of the day. Okay, another thing they don't teach you when when you are driving is places you're going to go and places you're going to deliver, places that you're going to need to park overnight, the safety and the dangers that lay around it. A good example is back early in my driving, I got sent to a place called Bartash, New York. It was down in the middle of nowhere, project area. I had no idea. I'd never been down there before. I just had directions on how to get there. And I showed up to this place and I parked outside. I slept overnight on the street. And in the morning time, I got out to open up the trailer doors to be able to pull into the yard, and the shipper receiver came out screaming at me, yelling, said, "Don't you ever come to this place and get out of that truck. You phone us ahead of time, we'll open up the doors, you come inside. When the doors are closed, that's when you get out of your truck." I didn't realize till I got there that their compound was barbed wire fences all around it. This is a bad neighborhood. They said that people get hijacked there all the time. They care more about your wallet than, they're not even after the load. They just, easy thefts is what they want. They don't know what's in that trailer. I had printing ink. So it's not something that somebody could steal, but they don't know that, right? So yeah, this guy was, he was armed. He had a gun on him. Like, it was a rough part of town. I never learned that when I went to driving school, that I was gonna go to places like this. A lot of the things, when you're out on the road, how much does my load weigh? Am I capable of carrying this load with the way that the truck is set up? Do I need to slide the fifth wheel back at all or forward? Do I need to slide the bogies on the trailer forward or back? Another good example is, when you're going to a truck yard and you have to back in between a couple trailers, most of them are fairly generic. Some are going to be a little bit tighter than others. Some are going to give you a little bit more room, but most places are going to be fairly generic that way when you're going to a trucking company with a big trucking yard. When you're out on the road and you're going to just a delivery, all sorts of different things are going to be there. There's going to be cars parked around you. There's going to be people trying to drive around you, back up, and they don't care. When you're backing up, that car cares about one thing and one thing only. He cares about getting past that truck before you back in. As you're backing up, there's cars racing in behind you constantly, especially if you're backing off a road somewhere. One place that I delivered to down in California, we were one of the first trucks that went into this place once they had it set up. It was very tight off of the side street. You had to back inside of a building, and as soon as you went inside the building, you had to back down a ramp. All different things that you just were not ready for. So when you had to try to back in there, you actually had to slide the bogies on the trailer all the way up so you could make the turn to get the trailer inside the building. But once you got inside the building, you couldn't leave the bogies all the way up anymore because you had to back down this ramp. So when you were backing down the ramp, you'd high side the back of the truck onto the undercarriage of the trailer. So you had to re-slide the bogies all the way to the back of the trailer. We built up ramps at the bottom of it so that it would lift up high enough to go into the dock door. Definitely not something that they taught me in truck driving school. It was stuff that we had to learn on the road. Okay, another thing would be, we kind of touched on the straps, chains themselves, chains and binders. How do you set a bear trap? How do you use the new ratchet style? It can be complicated when you look at that. When you look at that ratchet style binder, you don't understand if you got one side turned in, one side turned out, and you're trying to tighten this thing up and it keeps bottoming out on itself. You can't get it tight enough. It can be very frustrating. How tight do I need my chains to be? Like the old style bear traps they were really dangerous. A lot of people don't like using them because that bear trap can come back on you when you're pulling on the winch bar or whatever, trying to get that trap tight enough that the chains are secure. You slip off that binder a little bit and it's gonna hurt. I know of people that have broken jaws, caused them to fall off of a trailer. Another good point is, being safe on a trailer or in the back of a trailer, being mindful where you are, that you don't step out the back of the trailer or you don't step off the side of the flatbed. It doesn't seem far sometimes, but it's a pretty far fall and it's going to hurt. You're going to probably hurt yourself quite a bit when you land. They say it's not the fall, it's that sudden stop at the bottom. Another thing I guess I would say is your dispatchers and your managers, and they're going to try to send you and drive you wild. When you look at a map, it's only this far, but They want you to be there on time. They don't care what the weather is. It could be an ice storm, or, you know, we've seen a lot of these big snowstorms and stuff like that. And do you feel safe being out on the road? You know, you just got your license. You've been driving for 3 weeks with a commercial driver's license, and this is the first snowstorm you've been in. The company doesn't care. They want that product delivered, and get out there and go. And they're going to push you. They're going to rush you a lot. It's a go, go, go mentality for the most part, which is funny because half the time in truck driving it's hurry up and wait. Be mindful of all those different things. I've mentioned it in other videos, is ask questions. If you see seasoned truck drivers out there, these guys have been there. They've done this stuff, and you know, ask them their opinions on it. If I'm driving beside you on a highway, I sooner know that, you know, you have a little bit of knowledge beside you than this is your first time ever going down the highway in a truck alone. You know, these are things that's going to set you out for a long career in truck driving and keep you accident free, keep you safe. You know, hopefully you'll be the guy down the road that's knocking on the guy next to you and offering him some advice as well. That's how truck driving rolls, and we keep this industry running. I hope that you guys learned something from this. You know, always keep in mind, this is just my views on it. Everybody maybe has something completely different to think about it, but we look forward to looking at the comments. I want to leave you guys with one thing, a big question here. Do you believe that after 3 to 4 weeks being in a truck driving school, do you think that most truck drivers are ready to be out on the road on their own? Good poll to have there. So leave your answer down below in the comments. Yes, no, indifference. It'll give us some more information that we can look forward to look at while we are trying to put this next video together for you guys. Right now, I have somebody sitting across from me with a giant bullwhip that is just about to slap me hard if I don't say that you guys should really, really subscribe to this channel, like it, love it, you know, leave the comments below. I want you guys to be safe out there on the roads, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up, and we'll see you guys later.